hilarious.
I know. I listened to it back, yes.
Yeah.
It says live now. Maybe they can hear us now.
Hello, everyone. Yes, you can hear us live. You can't see us because we've got this graphic on, which I am going to be re-rendering for next week. But 50 seconds and counting.
Nice.
Hello, everybody. Happy Bank Holiday weekend for those in the UK.
Hooray.
Now, we have also invited somebody else, but I don't know whether she'll be showing up at all. That would be Natasha. But we'll see what happens. She may show up magically halfway through.
It's been known to happen before.
Hasn't it just? This is what happens when you run around like the proverbial blue ass fly.
Well, that's the joys of live broadcasting. You get to see the unvarnished oopses.
Yeah.
If we wanted it to be polished, we wouldn't be doing it live.
Oh, you know what? That's no, because Noel Edmonds managed to do it. He always does live stuff really well.
And how many years have you been doing it?
A lot.
Too many.
Okay, I'll admit that. Too
See?
many. Right, bear with me a second. I am going to try and re-invite, or I'm going to invite Natasha into the conversation, so bear with me. But if you are watching live, hello, I'm going to do a little bit of an intro in a second, so bear with me. But like I say, we want to try and get Natasha Williams from the Nerd Element to join us because she knows her television. She knows what she's doing. Oh yes, she knows what she's doing. Me, I haven't got time. I just haven't got time to do television. It's really embarrassing. Have you got my Funko box to hand, Alyssa?
I do, indeed.
Good. We'll do that
And I
in a
broke the seal, but I haven't opened it up so that I wouldn't have to fumble with the seal live.
Fair enough. Okay. Well, if you bear with me a little while longer, I do apologise for the delay, everyone. But this is where I'm not broadcasting from what would be my normal little cubby hole, which is where I would usually find myself, which has a lot better internet than here, which is my house. Here's the challenge. I've put it out on Twitter already. Sky, TalkTalk, BT Broadband, or Virgin Media. The first company that comes and lays fibre broadband down this street, I will sign a 5-year contract out of the box. Okay, can you please just pull your finger out and come and get some kind of internet down my street, please, because this is getting embarrassing now. It's really quite poor. So we will crack on in a second. I'm just going to send this message to Natasha.
It's because you're still on dial-up, isn't it, Leonard? That's the thing. You enjoy the sounds of that whirling dial-up.
It would be actually easier. In fact, I'm going to take the camera off so everyone can see everyone else joining. Hello, Mark.
Hello.
So, hello. Yes, it would actually be quicker and easier for me to plug my phone into my computer than do what I am doing now, which is just terrible. Bear with me. Good grief, it's so slow.
Got a lot of people joining us saying good morning.
Oh, excellent. It's a pleasure. Good morning, good afternoon. So
hi, Carlo, and Andrew, and Craig, and Jim, and Miss Kitty, and Rick G.
Excellent.
Yes.
Right, let's do a full intro and let's crack on then. So, hello and welcome to A Cup of Tea with an Englishman in San Diego. This is where we talk Comic-Con for a spell on a Sunday each and every week. You join me in what used to be my usual broadcasting location, which is my house. But unfortunately, my house has got some of the worst internet in the world, and I usually broadcast from somewhere else, which is a little bit more accommodating. But thanks to that person disappearing for the weekend because it's bank holiday, I'm back here for the week. So bear with me if things get a little bit choppy and a little bit kind of like ropey in places, but we're working on it. This is going to be a short one this week because it's a little bit quiet on the news front when it comes to Comic-Con and also Comic-Cons around the world. It all really kind of kicks off next week when we have ourselves a number of events that are happening. We have ourselves some things we can talk about today, though, and we've got 3 great people who are joining me to talk about them. First things first, we have my regular partner in crime. Hello, Alyssa. Alyssa Franks from the Friends of CC Forum. How are you?
I'm well. It's been a week and a half, but thanks for asking.
Why? Has it been a bit stressed out for you? You okay?
Oh, we're fine. It's just trying to get everything together and organized and ready for New York. And the Walking Dead panel tickets there's news on that front. And I was not invited yet. I'm hoping for next week.
Fingers crossed. Okay. Excellent stuff. Thank you very much indeed for joining us, Alyssa. I'll be definitely coming to Alyssa for some big things, or a big box thing, which we'll be coming back to in a bit because I'm excited. The T-shirt should be a bit of a clue. We also have joining us Mark Searby. Hello, Mark. How are you, sir?
Yeah, very good. Thanks, Leonard. Thanks for having me on again.
It's been a while. It's felt like a while.
No, it hasn't. We've spoken between then. Just people never seen it.
Well, no, but I mean, it's been a while since you've been on the Hangout. What have you been up to since we've seen you last?
Not a lot, doing bits and bobs. Film reviews, obviously, still going strong and everything else like that. A couple of irons in the fire, which I can't talk about, but if they come out, it'll be interesting. So, yeah. I
have had people asking where people can listen to you and doing your film stuff and reading your film stuff. Where can people find you?
Well, I mean, if you follow me on Twitter, I always tweet a link then. Every Thursday night here in the UK, I'm on the Anglian radio station networks. That's 5 radio stations in the east of England. I always include a link there. That's around 9:15 every Thursday night. And then normally on a Saturday, you can hear me on Screen Jabber podcast. That's where things maybe get a little bit raucous, especially this week, because we were talking about We Are Your Friends. So,
which for the east of England, raucous means, wow, really rowdy.
And a few swear words as well, yeah. So, yeah.
You need a website with your archives, Mark.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. I'm just too lazy to do one. This is the thing. I like it being on other people's, and then I can point it to theirs. That's why I give it all to Leonard. I'm like, Leonard can do it. I'll just give it to him on a Word document.
We'll talk after the show.
This is where, you see, I always ask as well, so where can people find you online? And Mark just goes, I'm on Twitter. I'm on this address here. That's it. There you go. And it's the shortest cap of the podcast. There it is. Oh, yeah. But no, it's great to have you here. Thank you very much indeed for joining us, Mark. Especially when it comes to talking about television, because I know you like your telly as well as your films. Brilliant. And we also have joining us someone we haven't had on the Hangout for ages.
I know.
It's a pleasure to have you back. Hello, Natasha. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? You can hear me, right?
We can indeed.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks
for having me on.
This is Natasha Williams, who I think the last time we had you on the Hangout was, good grief, a good 6-8 months ago. It's been a while.
It's been a minute.
Yeah. So if you were going to introduce yourself, tell people about yourself. What do you do?
Oh, well, I'm one of the co-founders for the Nerd Element. I live tweet a lot on Twitter for a lot of the TV shows. I'm a co-host of one of the podcasts, TV Talk with the Nerd Element. And I was most recently at Spartacon, which is like a boutique convention for the show Spartacus, because I'm like a major fan, and that was fun.
Excellent. I'm just going to say, what other cons have you been to? I mean, like I say, obviously, since the last time we spoke, we've had Comic-Con as well. So what did you get up to?
I didn't go to Comic-Con this year.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, no, and because I haven't seen you, I missed seeing your tall head.
I do stand out in the crowd, don't I?
Yes, you do. It was like you're like the staple now. It's kind of funny. But I mean, I've been at Wizard World, I've been at Motor City, I've been at Awesome Con, mostly sticking to the East Coast. And Spartacon was in Maryland, and it was really no excuse for me not to go because I was in Maryland. So I live in Maryland.
Excellent. Okay, well, it sounds like you've been busy, so hopefully you can jump in on a couple of things that we're going to be talking about today. Because obviously, the nerd element, when you do your live tweeting, you really are big on your television shows, and it's always fun to watch you live tweeting, even though on a couple of shows, I do kind of have to duck out and
I know.
block, mute.
We try, and then it doesn't help when the people that we're conversating with is spoiling it, so it's kind of like, oh, my bad.
It's what you do, and you do it really well. So it's great to have you join us. What we're going to be talking about today are Funko Collector Core, which I know a number of people out there have gotten their boxes this week. I haven't, because here in the UK, I think they only started arriving people's letterboxes yesterday. Mine isn't, because of the delightful delivery charges that Funko put onto the boxes to get into the UK. I just felt it would be a lot easier to dump it all on Alyssa, and I have all of my boxes showing up at her door, and basically what happens is every comic, when we get around to San Diego Comic-Con, she's going to put them all in her suitcase and bring them with her, which means she gets lumbered with all the suitcase troubles, and it's fun, and I love it. But that also means we're going to be having a live unboxing of the Funko Collector Core on the show a little bit later. We're also going to be talking about the guests that we've got coming up in the next 2 months or so, because we've got some big events coming up, and also some great guests joining us as well. But what we want to talk about primarily is about the television of San Diego Comic-Con, and also the shows that are going to be starting pretty soon, because we're coming up to the new season, especially in the US, and a whole bunch of shows are going to be showing up. Many of them did get their debut and a bit of a spotlight at San Diego Comic-Con this year. I mean, we'll go quickly down the line. I mean, what were the shows that kind of jumped out at you at San Diego this year? We won't obviously be asking this question of you, Natasha.
I did see some YouTube video, but mostly of the shows that I already watched. So
we won't rub it in. That you didn't get to see, but you got to see some of the panels. I know that they did post. The TV ones were really big on putting their panels up on YouTube and promoting what they were doing at Comic-Con. What were the shows that you kind of spotted, Alyssa?
I spotted Supergirl. I didn't see it myself, but I did hear people say that it wasn't wonderful.
Oh.
So I don't know if other people had different reactions to it. Mark, did you happen to catch it at all, Supergirl?
No, I didn't. No, unfortunately not. And it was one that was sort of on the list, but because it was so late at night, it was like, I think I need sleep.
Yeah, exactly. It is airing, let's see, when is it coming on? It's at the end of October. So it's going to be after New York Con. So then we may get a panel at New York Con too, with regards to that. The kind of the shows that I'm really looking forward to are, a lot of them are airing at the end of September. Blind Spot, Minority Report, Quantico, Bastard Executioner, and Limitless. Those are the ones that are airing in September, which all have struck my interest. I think Bastard Executioner had a panel at San Diego, had a booth at San Diego or some sort of an event. I remember somebody saying that they got the T-shirt.
I remember there was I think there was a panel about it, because it's for Kurt Sutter's first major project to take place after Sons of Anarchy, and there was obviously a lot of interest in what he's going to get up to. And I think it was something that the studio definitely wanted to get people's eyeballs towards. I mean, when you've got a title like that, it's going to attract some attention, and they want to make sure that at least some of it's positive. So, yeah, I saw that. I also didn't catch the Supergirl panel myself either, although I did watch it before I came out to con. I was one of those people, purely because I wanted to see what the pitch was and where it was going. It's interesting to hear you say, Alyssa, that you'd been hearing negative thoughts. I've been reading a number of negative thoughts, but I think it's from a lot of people who were kind of going into Supergirl expecting something else. They were expecting perhaps another Flash or another Arrow, or they were expecting some kind of pitch that they were expecting before they saw the actual show. I went in with a little bit of a kind of, I went in deliberately watching it with a bit of blank slate to it, and I actually quite enjoyed it for what it was, which is definitely from a different pitch. It's more kind of like the Babstar Batgirl kind of pitch. It's very much towards a different audience than Arrow, Flash, Gotham, and I think for the audience, it's certainly a lot fresher and a lot more optimistic, which a lot of shows aren't doing at the moment.
So a bit more like it's on CBS and a bit more mainstream versus gritty CW.
Yeah. I'd even say it's more kind of. I'm not going to say girly. I'm not going to say that because that's not the kind. It's not the greatest term to use, but it's definitely more towards a lighter, more optimistic, brighter kind of take on the whole superhero series, which hopefully they'll kind of stick with, because if they lose that, then you're just going to be walking down exactly the same road as the shows that are currently on there on WB and whatever. Have you actually managed to see it, Mark?
Supergirl?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Sorry. No, do you know what? I like to wait until the full season has happened and then just sort of go all the way through it. So just binge watch it.
Are you a binge watcher?
Yeah, absolutely. There's very few TV shows I will watch every single week. I would rather bank them all up and just hammer them all the way through.
Fair enough. It's a good approach. It's one I'm going to be taking with Mr. Robot, which I am wanting to see in one go, and I'm getting a little bit tired of seeing tweets about, okay, this may be the best television program on at the moment. I'm getting a little bit bored of that now. And I just want to watch it. So yeah, I mean, what programs have you been kind of watching at the moment, Natasha?
Well, on Sci-Fi, I've definitely enjoyed Killjoys and Dark Matter, which just wrapped up. I absolutely love those shows, and I hope they get renewed. The usual shows that I watched during the summer, like Teen Wolf, The Strain, and Falling Skies, which is in its last season. So I've been watching those shows. I've been trying to watch Mr. Robot. I only watched one episode, but I'm hoping to burrow through them, because it's apparently one of those shows that you need to pay attention to, whereas some of these shows I can just have it in the background and I'll be doing something else, multitasking. So and I've been trying to catch up on Extant too, and I've been struggling.
Yeah, I classify shows into two categories. The ones that I can just have on in the background, and the ones that I've got to pay attention to. And the ones I got to pay attention to are definitely Mr. Robot. That's right up there. And I find that I like to pay attention to The Strain also. That's not one that I want to have. And Falling Skies. What other shows do you actually pay attention to that just wrapped up?
Well, for Falling Skies, I live tweet, so I watch that live pretty much, and then I sometimes rewatch it again to talk about on the podcast. The Strain, I watch it after it airs because it's around the same time as Falling Skies, so I definitely pay attention to that. It's not, I don't have it in the background per se because I have to take notes on it. Teen Wolf the same way. I live tweet Teen Wolf with my personal Twitter. Dark Matter and Killjoys I did watch live, which I'm glad, because some of the stars were interactive on Twitter, so that was good, and some of the producers. So, yeah.
Neat.
Cool.
So a lot of the stuff I was watching live, except for Mr. Robot, which is sitting in my DVR, and I just need to start playing it.
Well, I'm very curious about Mr. Robot, because like I said, I'm going to do a binge watch in the next couple of days, because obviously is it tomorrow or Tuesday or Wednesday. It's in the next couple of days that the last episode has been put back a week due to the events in the US.
Yeah, the finale is supposed to be, I think, Wednesday, because I think it's usually around the same time or right before Extant. And I'm usually recording around the podcast, so I can't really watch it live anyway.
Fair enough. What about you, Mark? What did you what caught your eye at Comic-Con this year?
Well, I mean, I've said to you before that when we go to Comic-Con, me and the better half, we try and aim for as many TV shows as we can, because we don't get a lot of the TV shows over here in the UK at the same time. So we try and hit as many as we can. So we did a lot of TV this year. We did Supernatural, which obviously we watch every year anyway, so, you know, why not watch it? It's a great panel as well, so that's good. But new shows, Hand of God, really, really looking forward to that. You know, it's Ron Perlman, so he's great and everything. And next week I'm going to see the second episode here in the UK, because the whole cast are over here. And then
they're coming over for a con. They're coming over for Birmingham.
They're already here. They've been here for a week. But yeah, they're doing a big thing on Wednesday. It is, so I'm going to see that. I saw The Player first episode, which is the new Wesley Snipes TV show, which is written by the people who do The Blacklist, which I kind of enjoyed. It was nice and fun, and 40 minutes of, you know, brainless entertainment. Damien, I was really looking forward to that. I was slightly disappointed after seeing it at Comic-Con. I kind of thought it wasn't as dark as it should be, which was a shame.
Which is Damien?
Well, it's based on The Omen.
Okay, there you go. That's all you need to know.
Okay. That's all we need to know.
Yeah. So yeah, I was slightly disappointed with that. The Bastard Executioner, much like Alyssa, very much looking forward to that. I'm not a fan of Sons of Anarchy at all, but I'm very interested in this mainly because Stephen Moyer's in it. So I want to watch that. And
You've got a man crush.
Yes. Listen, there's many reasons why I have a man crush on Stephen Moyer. This hangout won't be enough time for me to tell you why, but one day we'll talk about it. But the other thing that the three panels that I missed at Comic-Con, which I kind of had down, was Ash vs. the Evil Dead, which, you know, I love Bruce Campbell. I think he's great. So I'm looking forward to that. If it ever hits the UK, we don't know. Into the Badlands is a TV show that I really, really, really want to see, but I don't know if we're going to get it, so I'm not sure, but it looks great. And also the Muppets. I mean, the Muppets are coming back. I mean, who doesn't want the Muppets back on TV? This is the thing.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
I did, because I do a radio show on my local hospital radio here in the UK, and last week I do a sequence or a segment called the Almost Best Album Ever, and I played the Green Album, which is all the indie covers of all the songs from the Muppets, and that's kind of got me back into Muppets mode again. So I've been I've had Rainbow Connection super glued into my head. I can't get rid of it. It's not going anywhere. It's very, very frustrating.
I just hope that on the Muppets that they have the two guys that were in the booth, you know, that watching, they always commented, the two old guys, the
Sadler and Waldorf.
That's me and Mark.
Yeah, that is.
It's me and Mark. He's playing Waldorf. I'm playing Statler.
Perfect. Sounds. I love it. Gonna go mystery science theater on you guys.
Yeah. No, there was those, and also I know we're talking about shows at Comic-Con, and there was a lot of American shows there. But earlier I was writing down some shows that obviously I do watch. It's the last season of Downton Abbey. I know it's not Comic-Con, but it is a brilliant show. I love that show so much. So I'm upset that it's finishing. And there's two other shows as well. This is England. I don't know if it's ever been available in the US, but this is a TV show about a group of youngsters growing up in England during the 80s, all the way through the 80s and early 90s and what they go through and everything else like that. It's a phenomenal piece of TV. It really is. It came from a film, This Is England, and now it went into a TV show. But they're doing the last series in September for, I think it's 6 episodes. It's a fantastic, really, really gritty piece of TV making, and if you can see it in the US, please do see it. It's fantastic. It's so brilliant. And
I'm trying to remember the guy who's made it. It's
Shane Meadows. Shane Meadows, who most people might know from making the Stone Roses documentary recently.
Yeah.
I think that's probably his most biggest one. And the other thing as well, which is not, it's kind of Comic-Con related, but not, is Best Time Ever with Neil Patrick Harris. Got to see that. Got to see it.
Okay, if you're going to talk about your man crushes, there's mine right there.
There we go. So the perfect segue into your man crush.
Hey, Mark,
yes,
speaking of British shows, have you, there's something coming on the BBC America called The Last Kingdom. Have you heard anything about that?
I've not heard of that at all, I've got to say. No, it's not. It's not something that we've seen.
That's been produced directly by basically BBC America have taken all of that Doctor Who and Top Gear money and just basically invested heavily in their own. Yeah, I think that's a direct production of their own. Basically, at this point, I don't know if you've been reading in the US about the attacks that the BBC have been getting from the government and general ideas to break it up and do what they want to do with it. And I think BBC America are just going, we better take the money and run. Take the Top Gear money and keep it away and make sure nobody's going to... So I think they're investing it in their own bits and pieces. No, I've not heard of that.
Yeah, it has the same, the trailers look good, and it has the same feel as kind of the Bastard Executioner. So it's that historic Vikings, Game of Thrones kind of, I know fantasy, I'm mixing my genres a little, but that same kind of feel to it. So it looks like it's going to be fun. I think it's a 6-part series that's coming October 10th to the States. Which
keep our eyes open for that.
Yeah, you know, broadswords and violence kind of stuff.
Hey, we like our broadswords. There's a couple of shows of it. I mean, I think one thing that we wanted to talk about when it came to this hangout was that translation between all the hype and attention that shows got in the Comic-Con to where we are now, a month, 6 weeks later, to kind of what people are really talking about. And I think people are still talking about a couple of shows. One is, as Kitty Gunn on the Q&A, Heroes Reborn, which had that big feature outside of the Hard Rock in the gas lamp, which I wanted to go in at least once and missed it completely. I don't know if Alyssa or Mark managed to get inside that thing at all. No, I see shaking of heads. If you got into that, could you jump in on the Q&A? Let us know what you thought, or use the Twitter, CupOT SDCC. Let us know what if you managed to get inside there and tell us what your experience of that was. So yeah, Heroes Reborn, obviously a lot of people talking about that at the moment. And I think for me as well, the other one is one that Alyssa has mentioned, is Blind Spot. Natasha, are you guys going to be keeping an eye on that?
Yes, I will anyway. One of us will. And it stars one of the people from Strike Back, which is another show that I've been watching off and on because one of the guys from Spartacus is on there. But I watched it beforehand because they were doing a marathon, so I actually started liking the show. So I can't remember his name. Is it Stonebridge? I can't remember, but he's supposed to be in it, and so that made me interested in seeing what it was about this fall.
I'm very curious to see how that program is going to play out, especially, and I'd read about this already, Kitty Gunn on the Q&A, supposedly the creators of Blind Spot really have no idea where they're going with the show. They only had the first episode done with no direction. And apparently Kitty's going, now fair warning, guessing it won't be lasting too long, so don't invest too much into it, purely off the back of they don't know where they're going. I mean, it has a lot of chutzpah to turn around, unlike Lost, oh no, we know exactly where we're going with this. Oh yes, we know what we're doing. 7 seasons, all mapped out. Don't worry about it. Oh really? Yeah. We watched it. No, we ain't buying that.
Can I just say something about Blind Spot, because I missed because they had a panel at Comic-Con and I missed it. But to me, from the outside, it just looks like a TV version of Memento. I mean, maybe people can fill me in a bit more, but it just looks like Memento, but a TV version of it.
Well, I would be happy with that, because I'm a fan of Memento.
Yeah. But you know, I mean, that's Christopher Nolan. This is not Christopher Nolan.
Fair enough. Okay. Not that we're going to stick anyone on a pedestal at any point during the course of this.
No.
Okay.
The one I'm kind of looking forward to is Limitless. That's the one where the guy, and I know it wasn't, I don't think it was at Comic-Con, but that's the one where you take a pill. Oh, it was, and
he got a pilot screening. It's one of the very few panels I got into to see that.
Oh, I love the concept of being the smartest person in the world for 12 hours.
I think we could all do with pills like that.
Right.
Instead, I just go for beer, which makes me stupider for 12 hours, which is just pointless. But no, okay, real quick. I don't know. Were you in the room for Limitless, Mark?
No, it was one that was on the list. I didn't see it. I saw Minority Report instead.
Well, you can give us a review of that in a second then. For Limitless, I was a fan of the film. I was one of those few people that actually watched it, because it didn't exactly get the biggest audience in the world, but I was a fan of the film. This new series is interesting because it turns around and says that it follows on directly from the film. You're watching the program, however, or watching the pilot, and you're just going, okay, this is new characters. They're talking about the drug with different terms. You're wondering where the dovetailing is going to happen, and it's a little bit like that moment when you're watching From Dusk Till Dawn, and you're turning around and going, I thought they were supposed to be vampires in this thing. Vampires appear. That magic timing where it just quite works. The same with Limitless. You're wondering, okay, so where's the connection with the? Oh, look, there's the star of the film, who's
Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper, who's strange. It just vanished from my head there for a second. Yeah, but he suddenly shows up in a cameo, which he must have shot in half an hour, possibly on the toilet. It was just done really. You could just tell it was just done really quickly, but it works really well. And I think the series, if it pans, it could turn into a rather obvious procedural, but if it works, it could work very well. I quite liked it, and it's got a lot of potential. Okay then, so you were talking about a show that we saw that big banner of outside of the Hilton, but I didn't see anything else about it. What was Minority Report about?
Well, much like Limitless, really. It's kind of, it's the TV version of the film, and they've tweaked it slightly, but not that much. Unlike Limitless, from what you were talking about there, Leonard, this one doesn't dovetail into Minority Report, the film. They kept hinting at it in the panel, but quite clearly Tom Cruise is not coming back for a TV show. Spielberg is not coming back to direct an episode, no matter how much they went, oh yeah, he's coming back. He's not coming back. He's really not. I know Alyssa was very much looking forward to this. I was disappointed with it. I found it just became very much your standard 40 minutes. You've got 30 minutes to find out who's done it, and then 10-minute wrap up. I didn't really find the two main people who we saw on the big posters. I thought they were pretty poor as well. It just felt all we'd seen this all done before. We'd seen it in the 80s, we'd seen it in the 90s, regardless of the concept, which is a really good concept, I've got to say, and it keeps it from the film. But I was disappointed with it. I was really disappointed.
That's a shame. That's a shame. We are getting a slight echo from somewhere. I'm just wondering where that might be coming from. So if You just check your audio. In fact, also, if you guys can also talk for a little bit as well. So I'm now going to disappear and just something from the other side of the room. Ooh, even worse now.
Ooh,
I think that
that's even worse.
Might be Alyssa. Who knows? Anyway, if you can talk then about Fear the Walking Dead. Now, this got a lot of attention in the Comic-Con. In the UK, I believe has it started already, Mark, or it's due
tomorrow
to
night.
start? Tomorrow night.
Yeah.
It comes out on BT Media, which not a lot of people have here in the UK. So it's not going to get the massive ratings that perhaps the US has had. How's it going down at the moment in the US? Is this the show you've been watching, Natasha?
No, I was going to watch the premiere. I just haven't had a chance to yet. But a lot of my friends have. They at least the ones that are fans of The Walking Dead thought it was slightly slow, and they're just gonna wait and see what happens. But other people that like never watched The Walking Dead was like, okay, I could probably get on with the show. Like, I really like it. So it's kind of like a hit and miss with some people, but it's one of the highest rated. It had one of the highest rated premieres, so it definitely a lot of people were watching it. That's for sure.
And that would seem to be the feedback on the forum too, was that it was slow, but people are going to continue to watch it.
I think the fact that Kim Dickens is in it really piqued my interest, because I love Kim Dickens. I think she's a great actress, and she's been in some great shows that have not been seen by a lot of people. So I think, hopefully, fingers crossed, this is going to be her breakout, and we can finally get to see her be an A-list actress. I don't know about anybody else. Is anybody else a fan of her, or because I don't know anybody else in the cast? So maybe somebody else can tell me who's else in the cast apart from her.
I'm not familiar with the other actors in the cast. I liked it, but I like Contagion apocalyptic shows that walk through that. That's and I like bad TV. So you know, anything that has that premise to it, and I'm there watching it, and I think it's the best thing since sliced bread.
Remember, this is a woman who really likes Last Ship.
Exactly. Yes, and I'm really looking forward to Contagion when that comes on later on. You know, it's the I forget who's doing that show, and it's not on any schedule that I've seen, but you know, that whole cordoning off of Atlanta just reeks of The Walking Dead, and I'll be watching it. So I like the Walking Dead spin-off show, and I will absolutely be continuing to watch it. I like the character development of it. I think that it needed to be slower. I don't think that it would have been appropriate for them to go all season 5 or season 6 premiere Walking Dead episode right from the get-go on the new show. I think that it needed to be built up, and it'll pay off down the road. It's my 2-second interview.
So if there is an actual apocalypse, then Alyssa is going to survive, and we should all really stay close to Alyssa, because clearly she watches. Pretty much. Yeah, she watches all the shows and knows how to survive.
And I live way far away from any of the urbans, you know, the suburban situations too. So I'm definitely in the woods.
I can also speak from experience that if there's any challenge or any kind of conflict or any kind of approach to Alyssa which looks like it could be life-threatening, she's also very good at like putting people and just like in front of her, just kind of like protecting herself, just like eat them. Look,
but you're so easy to hide behind, Leonard.
Here's Leonard. He's a bit stringy on the legs, but go for the belly. There's lots there. Go on, just eat that. Don't go for the brains. No, it's empty. There's nothing in there. Don't bother.
Thank you. So those seem to be the shows that are pretty much happening. I mean, there's Quantico too, but those seem to be the shows that are premiering in September. Were there any shows at San Diego that had premieres down the road that we haven't really covered?
I'm currently looking through the comments just to see if there was anything that kind of jumped out at people. I mean, a lot of people are talking about Ash versus the Evil Dead, but when I can't quite see when is that due for?
31st of October.
Wow,
Halloween.
So we're talking a little bit of a while there, yeah.
Yeah. Also, Man in the High Castle was at San Diego Comic-Con.
That got a big thing. It even got like a theatre release.
Yeah. Well, they've got the first episode on Amazon Prime. I love it. I think it's great. It's a fantastic idea. But I don't know what the date is for that. I think it's still quite far off. I believe they're still shooting.
Wow. Okay.
I had a good. There was somebody, the Futon Critic, did a new shows guide, and it was organized by when shows were coming up.
Well, I've got something similar to that, and it's looking like a lot of the big releases are happening September 15th with Zoo. If that got a little bit of thing at Comic-Con.
I mean, it's on now in the U.S. Yeah. It's on now in the U.S.
Have you been watching that?
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
Fair enough. It seems like one of those programs that people are going to sort of it's one of those where you'll get the pocket sort of like sentence which will summarize the show, and then just everyone will go, oh, right, okay. Do I need to watch it then? You just summed it up really in one go. And we've been hunting animals get bored of it and decide, no, we've had enough.
Yeah, well, yeah.
There you go. Planet of the Apes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much Planet of the Apes involving all animals, pretty much.
With lions.
With lions, tigers, and bears. Oh my.
No, I just want to see the episode where the kittens in the kitten farm just go, no, I've had enough. And I want to see a guy get mauled to death by kittens. That would just be...
That's right up there with being nibbled by ducks.
Yes. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, with ducks, they're just nasty gits anyway. They're just horrible creatures. But kittens, the thing is, I know that I've made a bit of a joke there that, let's see the episode where kittens decide to just attack. That's all they want to do anyway. They're just not big enough. You can see it in their eyes. They want to do it.
They're just so adorable.
But they hate you. Look, I'm sorry, but dogs have owners. Cats have staff.
Yes, pretty much. That's pretty much how that's how it works.
That's how it works. Okay, so very quickly thank you very much indeed for jumping in on the Q&A. Thank you very much indeed for watching as well. We've got ourselves some people who are talking about some of the shows we've been discussing. Carlo Dwyer saw the leaked pilot of Supergirl online. You naughty boy. I didn't think it was as bad as people have said. Neither did I. I thought it was impressive for what it was. I thought the cast created themselves very well. I thought it was very good. Janine Lecaro, I did like Fear the Walking Dead episode 1. A lot of people are saying that, to be honest. Carlo is saying Ash versus the Evil Dead looks amazing. I'm guessing this is from a teaser or any trailers that have been out?
There's a trailer out, yeah.
There we go then. Angela Copley, Hannibal is one that I have to pay attention to, although guess not anymore. So the finale was so beautiful. We're not going to do spoilers.
Spoilers.
No, we're not going to. No. Okay.
It hasn't aired in the UK yet. We don't need it.
Okay. Here's the spoiler. The series finishes. There you go. It's going to get.
No, I know a few of our friends, Leonard, that are not happy that Hannibal is being canceled.
No, I know that we've got a couple of friends as well. Hello, Jason. Hello, Jesse. Hello, Rachel. They have been in floods for the last for the last day. Not happy at all. But there we go. Let's see what else other people are talking about. We've actually got someone who's commenting about your artwork, Alyssa. Let me just put your screen front and center. basically asking about that Godzilla print that's directly behind you. Is that a Mondo?
It is a Mondo that I had framed. It came in a pair with one of the Pacific Rim.
Kaijus.
Well, that's the Kaiju. With one of the robots.
Yeah.
For lack of a better word, because I'm blank in the mind at this moment. But it came as a pair, and Mike Leventhal happened to be at a flat sale and picked them up both for me, and I did get that one framed. I've also got a Silver Surfer one here too. That it's one of my favorites, but so.
Nice.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And
1 or 2 people commenting on the art and liking it. So there we go. And I think last but not least on the comments, people are talking about a show that didn't. They only got 1 panel at Comic-Con, and to be honest, not a great deal got released because there's not a great deal they can talk about at the panel. But of course, Sherlock returns for its Christmas special in December.
Yes.
That little thing of some note. So there we go.
Well, Doctor Who will be premiering too, and I think it's just September, right?
Not that far away. It's only like 3-4 weeks away.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I actually have got one of the things that I do on my forum is I've got the September shows coming up, and I'm not BBC Doctor Who September 19th in the States.
So
Season
not
9 season premiere.
Yeah,
Which
not far.
means We'll get it about 6-7 hours before you guys, and we'll just
we'll live tweet it. We'll
live tweet it for you. Don't worry, we've got your back. So yeah, I find it interesting that there's all this money that is poured into promoting shows at San Diego Comic-Con. It's much the same way as the films as well. We've had David Glanzer talking about it, about that translation between the panels and the attention that's shown in that 4-day con to the actual show showing up. And it's interesting to see that there's some shows that did have a lot of attention lavished on them, kind of getting hidden below shows that have snuck under the radar. I find it interesting. So, cool. For example, Sex, Drugs, Rock and Roll. No one seems to be talking about that show. Is that airing at the moment in the US?
I think
Yes.
See what I
I
mean?
think it did premiere.
You see what I
recently.
mean?
I've seen commercials for it, but it's not really getting my interest. Probably because I watch too much TV already, so I have to pick and choose.
This is what I mean. That got a lot of attention at Comic-Con.
That actually started the Sunday of Comic-Con on HBO in the US.
There you go then.
Hmm.
Okay. Right, so I think obviously we've talked about the ones that are definitely going to be attracting a lot of attention. Do keep us informed with what shows that you're going to be watching on using the hashtag #CupOTSDCC, and we'll talk about it throughout the course of the week, certainly on the Twitters. Yes, Alyssa?
There are September 11th, Z Nation and Continuum are returning. Before that, we've got season finales of The Extent, Beauty and the Beast, Zoo, and Last Ship from the 6th. And after, we've got the Big Bang Theory and Gotham are returning on the 21st. So there is Castle is coming back on the 21st also. So that's got to be a sweeps week in there.
It's a big week, is that? That Monday, 21st, Big Bang, Gotham, Minority Report, NCIS Los Angeles, Blind Spot, and Castle. Good grief. Okay.
And Heroes Reborn on the 24th.
Yeah.
I gave some bad info earlier. For some reason I didn't get that one on my list.
Okay. And on the 22nd, you've got Scream Queens. Nah.
Yes, for some reason I skipped that cheerleader thing. I don't know why.
Yeah. Limitless Pilot.
Yeah.
The Pilot Limitless. And on at 8 o'clock on Tuesday the 22nd, The Muppets.
Yes.
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 Let's do it together, Mark. Here we go. Yes. Cool. Let's see what else we've got. Wednesdays. Big Brother.
There is Once Upon a Time is coming. Yeah. Once Upon a Time is coming on the 27th too.
And then the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is that Tuesday of that week.
Okay. And so is Last Man on Earth too. So that's so there's a lot of stuff happening in terms of DVR alerts and keeping your space. So clear off all of those sports shows.
What we're going to do is, I know that Alyssa has on the forum a thread which actually has all the shows in date order. So what we'll do is we'll get Alyssa to tweet that out as well, so you can check that out and see what shows kind of attract your attention.
Okay, I'll post it on the thing too.
Sure.
There was one other show that we hadn't mentioned, which kind of looked interesting to me. If you like the Shark Tank scenario of shows, and it's on the Sci-Fi Channel. It's called the Bazillion Dollar Club. It's today's fast-forward thinking innovations set to the next great idea. So we're talking Silicon Valley, venture capital kind of thing. So if you have tech ideas, that might be an interesting one to catch if you like those types of shows.
Well, we have a show here in the UK which I actively go out of my way to avoid, which is called Dragon's Den, which sounds remarkably similar to that. You could probably convince me to take a sharp nail and drive it into my own skull, probably using a plank of wood, than make me watch that kind of show. So I'll take your word for it, that may be something worth watching. Harsh? Maybe not.
That's fine. It's fine. Like I said, a remarkable amount of stuff falls under the category of Alyssa likes bad TV, so I can get away with anything.
Okay. I mean, what some people? I mean, Natasha, is there anything that you're kind of looking out for in terms of what's on your to-watch list?
Well, Once Upon a Time, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Sleepy Hollow, but that's like in October. Just some of the other, like Gotham, I definitely enjoyed the season. Even though initially I was like, what's going on? But I wound up liking the season overall. Arrow and The Flash when it comes back. Legends of Tomorrow when that comes on. Yeah,
that's a show that, I mean, did that get a screening at Comic-Con, or was it just a panel for Legends of Tomorrow?
No, it got a screening on the Saturday night.
Oh wow, okay. I don't know if anyone caught that then, because it's something I haven't heard a thing about since Comic-Con, which is it doesn't bode well. Okay. Right, so thank you very much indeed for your contributions on the television stuff. Obviously, lots of stuff which will be happening in the next 3 weeks. Which is when the shows really start picking up. But it was good to talk about that translation from San Diego Comic-Con to the new seasons. Right, we're going to cover what's going to be coming up in the next couple of weeks when it comes to our agenda here on the Hangouts. But I want to do this now. This is where I go over to Alyssa and ask her to kind of angle her camera so like towards this box thing that she got delivered, because Funko got the deliveries out of the Collector Core boxes. This is the third box of the Collector Core. This is Secret Wars. Now, if you've not received yours yet, or you want to see what's inside this thing, I'm certain that most of, certainly in North America, most of you have. Here in the UK, I think we're literally just starting to receive them, and I was hoping to get a press box so I could do a live unboxing, but we couldn't. They didn't arrive here, so it's time to find out what's inside. So this is the third one, and apparently, according to everyone, this is the best one yet. What have we got from opening the box then, Alyssa?
Opening the box, we have a pin and a patch.
Okay, so you're going to have to hold these up to the camera so people can see.
Yes, I'm working on that.
Oh,
patch.
One patch of the Falcon.
Mm-hmm.
of
And
Mr. Sam Wilson.
Yeah.
The pin is the ultimate. Oh no, it's the superior Iron Man. Okay.
And as we're opening the box,
Just to clarify to everyone, this is mine. This is my box. Okay. So she's getting to open my Christmas presents. It's not.
absolutely. The first thing we have is a T-shirt
Way.
in your size. How much will you pay me not to broadcast your size?
No, we want to know. We want to know.
It's 10. it's 10. It's marquee size is what it is.
So
Go on then.
Secret Wars.
Take it out of the wrapping. Come on, let's have a look at it.
Okay, must do the wrapping.
So this is the first Secret Wars where what they've done is they've actually put a graphic of a Funko on there. Oh no, a bunch of Funkos, and that would be Sam Wilson down the bottom, Superior Iron Man on the left. You've got Miles Morales, Spider-Man on the right, and Lady Thor at the top. Obviously, the some of the major players of Secret Wars, the Marvel series that's running at the moment. And you've got to be impressed that I actually identified all of those characters.
Yes.
Come on.
Thank you. I am very much so.
Written down, isn't it? Written down.
No, I have not got them written down. I haven't seen anything about this. I'm excited. That looks like a really cool T-shirt.
And the next thing we have is a comic.
Excellent stuff. Oh, now there's something I have heard about. They've actually boarded this one.
Yes.
Because they had in the past just kind of thrown the comic in there, and it was a little bit loose. Oh, okay. So it's a variant of the first Secret Wars issue, and with Lady Thor on the front. Very, very nice. It's a Funko of Lady Thor graphic. Very cool. Oh,
and
I see two Funkos.
Yes. As you see Leonard getting very excited.
I am. And that would be Miles Morales Spider-Man.
Yes.
Oh, it's a bit reflecty. Oh, there we go. Excellent stuff.
I'm trying to get the unreflecty.
Yes, now these are, of course, exclusive to these boxes.
And the last one.
Oh, they're big on the Lady Thor this year, or this month, aren't they?
Yes.
Oh, it's the Secret Wars Lady Thor. Excellent stuff. Brilliant. And those, is that it? Is that all we've got?
That's it.
Yeah, is that
No
all
more.
we've got? Is that all we've got? I am
got.
so ungrateful. Come on, give me more. It's a big box. Excellent stuff. Thank you very much indeed for that, Alyssa. Yes, if you did get your Collector box, yes, we good. Do go to collectorcore.com to check out. You can actually get the Secret Wars box as a loose bought item on their website as well. So if you are wanting to catch up and get what you've just seen on screen, it also dovetails nicely into who we're going to be having on the Hangouts in the next 2 months or so. Obviously next week, sorry, not next week, the week after, we are going to start our run-up to New York Comic-Con, and we've got ourselves a number of guests that are going to be talking to us about that. We have ourselves, next week is going to be a recap from the Birmingham International Comic Expo, which is called ICE, which is very much a comics creators expo. Hopefully I'm going to be there, and we're going to be doing a bit of a recap from that. And it's also going to be Dragon Con as well. Now, Alyssa, you're going to have to help me out here. Is anyone going to be reporting from Dragon Con? Are you going? What's going on?
I'm not going. It's the weekend before school starts. It's too much for me. I don't think that there's many people from the forum going. Are you going?
Natasha.
Yes.
Natasha, I'm sorry.
I wish I was. It's one of those cons that like I want to go to one of these years.
Yeah.
So,
What's the focus of Dragon Con?
they do a lot of like fan tracks. So I know Antonio goes a lot. He goes like to a lot of the horror tracks, werewolf tracks. Some are show specific. Of course, they do autographs, and some of the guests go down there. Some people from Sleepy Hollow are going to be down there this year. I know last year some people from Spartacus was down there, and I was jealous of the photos. But I got my own photos this year. And just, there's a lot of parties, a lot of cosplay. I've noticed from pictures from other people that I've posted that I have gone to Dragon Con, there's a lot of cosplay. There's like a parade. There's like a whole bunch of stuff going down there at Dragon Con. It's like a party weekend.
We had certainly someone who represented Dragon Con, or is an attendee of Dragon Con. Was it last week? Alyssa, help me out.
Couple weeks.
Was it last week? A couple of weeks ago.
Yeah,
it does sound a lot of fun. Hopefully, we're going to get a little bit of a recap of Dragon Con.
If anybody's going.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're watching, if you're going, if you want to take part, we do allow people on the Hangout with phones, so you can do mobile reports. We'd love to have an idea of what Dragon Con is all about. So do let us know if you are heading and you're able to join us, perhaps. That'd be fun. That'd be cool. We have ourselves now. Alyssa's going to have to help me out with a couple of the names. This is on the 13th of September. We're going to be recapping Granite State Comic Con, but we're also going to be having a couple of special guests. This is going to be Brittany McManus from CGC, which is the company which deals with the grading of comics on a professional level. She's going to be coming on to talk about the process of grading and about what it takes to actually get into collecting of comics. So that's going to be fun. But we've also got a couple of names. Is it Anton
Anat and Warren. Both will be joining us. They're from the New York. I affectionately refer to them as from the New York contingent. They do a lot with signings and sketches. So they're not so much with the CGC, although Warren does submit to them. But they're very good at how to approach an artist, navigating through Artist Alley, and all of that sort of thing. I'm not going to do so much with the Granite State Con. I think I'm going to actually be staying home for that one. I've changed my focus and pretty much concentrating on speaking with Brittany from CGC. I think she's will be very informative on the actual process of how to get books slabbed. Say you've got a really pristine older comic that you want to get signed by a Silver Age artist. You know, how do you go about that? What's the best way to make sure your comic doesn't get damaged and so forth? Okay. So both Warren and Anat and Brittany will be able to talk about those kinds of things.
Excellent. Although I went to a convention 2-3 weeks ago and got into a delightful conversation with a comics retailer who I was talking about. I was seeing The Walking Dead up on his display, and I had a friend with me who said, I got that one signed by all the people involved in the create, and he looked at us like we had just crapped on his shoe or something. Not a fan of somebody defacing comics, even if it's kind of like the creator. And I'm trying to get all my comics signed.
There's definitely two different viewpoints on getting things signed. I have my definite viewpoint too. I won't get. Well, perhaps I'll save that for the show.
Okay. Also, we've got, so that's on the 13th of September. On the 20th of September, we've got special guests Flicks in the City. I think I've mentioned these guys before. If you do go to their YouTube channel, they are fantastic. Hopefully, Mark's going to be joining us for that one as well, because I know that he's good friends with the pair of them. Flicks in the City, excellent producers of panel videos and just general great video content on YouTube. Do check out their channel. On the 27th of September, we get into NYCC stuff, and we do it properly. We have ourselves a special guest, which is Mike Armstrong from ReadPop is going to be joining us live to talk about the preparations for New York City Comic Con, considering that I think it's the 10th year in New York. They're planning a big blowout and a massive party for this year. Lots of things getting planned, and Mike is going to be joining us to talk about what they've got lined up. It's going to be a fun show. That's on the 27th of September. And then the week after...
I mean, it's just absolutely huge, talking about the getting the Madison Square Garden for the Walking Dead premiere and partnership with AMC and getting that on the books 2 days before the nationwide premiere of The Walking Dead, the highest rated syndicated show. So it's a huge get for them to be able to coordinate with this. I don't know which theater it's going to be in. We suspect it's going to be in a 5,600 seat theater and not the full MSG, but we'll see.
Fair enough.
So
there you go. If you are going to New York Comic Con, I hate you, and I'm thoroughly jealous. So,
I know. I'm just like, I want to go. I wish I was going, but I can't afford to go.
We're hoping that we're going to get a little bit of backing for the Hangouts, and then myself and Mark are going to charter the jet and come over in the death.
Right.
That pans out.
Yep.
Okay, so Mike Armstrong is going to be joining us on the 27th, the week after, which is the week before New York Comic Con. We're going to be joined by Cameron Duell, who is the marketing coordinator for Funko, and he's decided he's allowed to come on to talk about the exclusives that Funko are preparing for New York Comic Con. So if you're a collector and you want to talk about and you want to find out exactly what Funko have got planned, that's going to be the show for you. That's going to be on the 4th. Hopefully we're going to have some giveaways as well. Keep your eyes open for that. So that's on the 4th of October. Then on the 11th, it is New York Comic Con. Alyssa is going to be hopefully joining us directly from the con as well. And hopefully I'm going to try and coordinate that a friend of ours who's going to be also at the con may kind of like link in as well and sort of like join her for a small period of time. However, he does a lot of writing for comicbook.com. This is Russ Burlingame, very, very good friend of ours. Good writer, if you've seen his stuff online. He's going to be going to New York Comic Con as well, and the pair of them, Alyssa and Russ, will hopefully be reporting from New York Comic Con. Then on the 18th, it's Lakes International Arts Festival, which I'll be reporting live from up in up there somewhere. It's a good. I know it's a good hour and 45 minutes away drive for me. It's a very cool convention in Kendal in the UK. And then on the 25th, fingers crossed, I'm going to be reporting from Paris Comic Con.
Ooh la la!
Very nice. However, we're also going to be doing a report as well, because that weekend is going to be. Now, help me out, Mark. Which one is it? It's. Is it London Supercon? No, it's not London Supercon. Is it London Film Comic Con? Or is it MCM? It's one of the big ones.
Well, London Film and Comic Con have now moved, so it could well be that, because they've now moved to Brighton.
They've moved to Brighton, haven't they?
Yes.
I'm trying to remember this. There's one that's happening that weekend. I'm going to have to look into that. Yeah, there's going to be.
You've got a few weeks.
We have. We've also got cons coming up. Directly after that as well, on the 1st of November, it's going to be our pre-registration special, because the week after is when it all starts looking like we're going to be getting We think. Well, I mean, the last weekend in October is when you're supposed to have your everything kind of nailed down, and they're going to be wrapping things up, and they're going to say, no, that's the cut-off point. So we're looking, the first week in November, we think, is going to be the pre-registration. We've got stuff coming up. Yeah, I know.
I'm out of pre-registration now. Because I didn't go this year, I'm out.
Oh, it's fun, isn't it? I mean, you get to sit back and watch.
Huh?
Can't you do press?
That's still money involved, so I don't know.
Fair enough. We've also got some episodes that are going to be coming up talking about Thought Bubble Festival here in the UK. On the 13th of December, just to let you know how far we're planning ahead, we are going to be doing a Star Wars Force Awakens special, and Katrina Dennis is going to be joining us for that. So there we go. That's what we've got kind of planned. I've got special episodes coming up between now and then. We've got guests still confirming. basically watch this space. I hope that the Hangouts will get bigger and better, and hopefully you'll spread the word as well, that we can get more and more people joining us on a Sunday. But that's about us for now. Myself and Mark can now disappear and enjoy the rest of our bank holiday Sunday.
Indeed.
I'd like to thank my guest again, Alyssa. Thank you very much indeed for joining us.
You're welcome.
Where can people find you, please?
On the forum, friendsofcc.com/forum. We are busy planning our meetups in New York. Currently, we have a Bazillion, all-you-can-eat restaurant, barbecue, which is recommended by Brian Stephenson, pizza places that serve wicked margaritas for the non-New England folk that mean really good, and a Sunday dinner too. So if you're at all in the New York area during the New York Con, come down and visit.
Now, you see, she started saying, we're just planning a massive Bazillion ... And I was wondering where the hell that was going. I don't know what she was going to announce. That will be a forum meetup, which, if you don't mind, if you decide to do that at Comic-Con in San Diego, count me out. Mark, thank you very much for joining us, sir. Yeah, I know that this is going to be a stupid question, but where can people find you online?
On Twitter, you can see my Twitter handle just there. On Friends of CC forum as well, I'm on there, and also, as I said, I'm on the radio every Thursday night here in the UK, but I always tweet a link so you can listen via the wonderful World Wide Web as well.
Myself and Alyssa are also going to be creating Mark's webpage. You can find him at www.opinionatedspeckyenglishdgit@.com, which I think is a bit of a convoluted www, but we'll sort something out.
Yeah, it's easy enough. Well,
Yeah,
it's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much indeed, Mark.
Thanks.
And last but not least, thank you very much indeed for joining us, Natasha.
All right. You can find me at willcat12. That's my personal Twitter. Again, I live tweet sometimes as The Nerd Element. Our website is www.thenerdelement.com. We have a podcast Empire link. I'm one of the co-hosts of TV Talk with The Nerd Element. We also have a DC TV podcast, Pretty Little Liars, Orphan Black, Hannibal. Even we have a Hannibal podcast with Antonio and Chris. So yeah, just check out our website.
Excellent. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. And myself, Leonard Sultana, which you can find on Twitter, Englishman SDCC, and you can find me on Google+, Facebook, anywhere. If you just type in an Englishman in San Diego, that's where you can find me. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. Once again, enjoy your Sunday. Next week then is going to be a recap of ICE, the International Comic Expo, and also Dragon Con. If you are attending and you'd like to jump in, do contact me at Englishman SDCC. We would love to have you on the Hangout. Thank you very much indeed. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and we'll hopefully see you next week for another Talking Comic-Con, a cup of tea with an Englishman in San Diego. Take care, guys, everybody.
All right,
Thank you.
bye.
Bye.
Bye.